telling you where you can improve, and along with that I'll be overall telling you, which are the ways and how you can improve. All right. So considering with other students, I liked your interview. Yeah, it was good pace, because out of many students, only few students ka interview I get really attracted with. And to be honest, you are one among such kind of student. I'm not telling it for the sake of telling it, yeah, but to be honest, I liked your interview. And it was very tough as an interview for me to catch you up, which was your weakness area. I was literally struggling in that particular point, but still, no, you were able to manage it. And that is a very positive thing, which I like from you. Even though the questions were tough level, or even though the questions were little whatever this level, no, you were still be able to bold it. And I'll tell you your sixth major strength, okay, which I don't find much in other kind of students. The first major strength which I could see from you is that your current affairs knowledge. Good. I totally appreciate that you read newspaper. Okay, that's the only major thing. Throughout the interview, you were able to hold yourself very strong. All right, that reading power will take you always successful in your life. I'm really happy that you're reading newspaper every day. At least my questions, whichever I asked you, you were able to answer it. I know that current affairs question which I asked was very tough level here. It was not actually the normal level, but still you increase that pace. That pace was very strong. That even though I asked a question, you were able to answer it. I totally appreciate it. Very good, Purnima. Excellent, great job. Second important thing is clarity is there. Clarity, that means that even though any answer you said, that proper clarity, that convention, that way of convincing me, everything was there in that answer. And I was actually praying, when will you fail, when will you fail? That was my main intention, but still the question level was that tough, but still that clarity, whichever you knew, you were able to mold it in a very beautiful manner. Very good, yeah, excellent, great job. Now third important thing is that you are very solution oriented. Very good. Solution oriented means it's like, to give right amount of solutions at right point of time. I observed you throughout your interview. Whenever I brought up a general question, you brought a very good solution. That is very awesome, spectacular. Very good, yeah. Solutions, you all, I think many, I asked you about the problems of so and so thing, but even though I didn't ask you the solution, you yourself said it. That really pointed me your major merits. Fourth important thing is your knowledge, and especially you are being very short and very crisp in your answers. Nothing more, nothing very much less. Anything you're answering with that complete clarity in that very short duration. How much of information you have to give, you're giving with complete confidence and clarity. I totally appreciate you for that. Okay, now I'll tell you where you need to work on. Now this is a very important area. What all I'm going to tell now, you're going to write one by one everything. Okay, I have almost 15 to 16 feedbacks. This is the important area where you need to give your priority and focus. Now, starting with the first important feedback which I would like to give is that in your self introduction, see, as soon as you entered into this interview, I wished you good evening. You also greeted me. Now, then when we went to the self introduction, again, don't greet me. All right, greet only once. All right, greet only once. This is the same feedback I want to tell you for your micro presentation also. Do not greet again and again in your self introduction. Not needed. Once you're greeting, it's enough. Why? Because when you're telling greeting again and again, we'll feel that okay, this kid is by hearted. Okay, don't greet again and again. One shot is the best shot. That's enough. Second important point, you want to become a UN civil servant. It's a great, very great post. I totally appreciate you for that. But I will tell you, you should be knowledgeable about what is your responsibility as a UN civil servant. What is your responsibility? Now, it could be a different kind. For example, tomorrow you're telling that you want to become a business professional, or tomorrow if you're telling that you want to become a government officer, you are telling you want to become a corporator. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. All that I need to do, all that I want you to do is that very simple. It's like whenever you're telling something, have that clarity on which particular field you're going. For example, UN civil servant. Who are the present UN civil servants in India? Write it down. Study it. In case, why do you want to even take a risk? Write it down. UN civil servant. Who are the present UN civil servants in India? What are the major responsibilities done by them? For example, they play a very important role during disaster management. They play a very important role for building peace and harmony within other countries. Here, when I'm asking you what is the responsibility of UN civil servant, don't tell me what you want to become, what you want to do as a UN civil servant. No, I didn't ask you. I am not telling you to just imagine that you are a UN civil servant. Tell me what you're going to do now. Only when I'm asking what you're going to do, only answer that point of time, that question. Or else, when I'm asking you what is the responsibility of that particular post, explain it very briefly. What is the responsibility? Disaster management, for example, monitoring different countries financial aspect. Just imagine, it could be even in terms of regulating funds, and it could be even in terms of sanctioning countries. What kind of decision making bodies, policy making bodies, all this is basically taken care by you, right? as a UN civil servant. So you must be very clear with the responsibilities. Very, very, very important. Now, uh, next important thing is that read books. When I'm asking you which are the books you read, so there, there I understood that. Yeah, I asked you. You said that you have a very good read. I said you like, do you have reading habit? You said yes, I have a reading habit. And I asked you how many books do you read? Only one book, you said. So listen very carefully when I'm asking. When I'm asking you, tell me three books which you have read and tell me what do you learn from it. Now, what did you do? You just said one book and you forgot to tell about the remaining books. And if you're telling that you are a reader, you have to prove that you're a reader. If you're not a reader, you can tell that, sorry, sir, I'm not a reader. Or if you've read only two books, you can tell, sir, I've just read only two books. Because of my boards, I was not able to spend much time there. You can be very honest as that. Nobody's going to question you on that basis. Okay, keep that one thing in your mind. Now, along with it, which I want to tell is that, whenever you're telling your weakness, tell the solutions. I tell this in all my videos, and here also I'm telling you. I'll tell you to be honest, yeah, your interview is literally good. I was literally scared. Where should I cut the marks for you? Because that's strong you are in terms of ministers, in terms of current affairs, in terms of general news. Agni Partaski, we discussed about disaster management problems. We discussed about disaster management, the major loophole problem, and we discussed about this Russian Ukraine ka thing. We discussed about many parallel things. I was not able to defeat you itself. I want to catch your weakness. So that's the reason. A few important areas when I went, I could feel that whenever you're telling your strength is good. When you're telling your weakness, tell on how you want to improve your weakness. So go little slow, yeah. Why do you want to go little hurry while speaking? Little slow you go. You're not taking Chennai Express, right? Go slow pace. Go slow. Whenever, because you are answering to the time limit. For example, if I'm giving you 5 marks question, you're giving exact 5 marks answer. If I'm giving you 10 marks question, you're giving exactly 10 marks answer. But the problem is that you're giving long, like you're just going very fast. Go slow. I know that you're getting fear. That's the reason, in that nervousness, you're going with that fastness. Very simple tip, any interview you go, any interview specialist you go around the worldwide, you'll get this one question in your mind always, that they'll tell the same solution. Practice in front of the mirror, practice in front of the mirror. And I want you to same practice in front of the mirror. Okay. Now, fifth important point is that use pointers. Please do use pointers while you are telling your answers. Now, what is the problem? For example, you said that a novel, right? The crime, that so and so book. Tell me, what did you learn from that book? Use pointers. Sir, I learned three important messages from that particular book. Point number one, so and so. Point number two, so and so. Point number three, so and so. Please do use pointers. Only by pointers you can impress us. Only by pointers I, as an interviewer, will be able to remember. So you should even consider us. That's the reason, normally paragraph answers we don't encourage while you write for any particular exam, right? So try to use pointers. That's very much important. Now, sixth important point is learn the father of economics, learn the father of sociology. Economics is correct. Learn the father of sociology. Okay. Even the father of political theory also, if you find some, you can learn it. Or any famous philosophers of political science, please do learn it. Now, when you're saying about political science also, no, little, I hope you have learned about governance, if I'm not wrong. You have not learned about president, this one. Just nod your head. You have learned about president. Yes. That means that then revise. I want you to revise all your uh, 11th and 12th once again. Take your time. You have time again. Learn your 11th and 12th. Brush up. Go brush up all 11th and 12th basics again. And when you're learning anything, you're going to explain to yourself. Okay. Just tell that, for example, you've learned about the powers of president. Now explain to yourself. So when you explain, no, see, if you learn the art of explaining to someone, you will literally ace in any kind of interview. I'll tell you a true story. Okay. Recently, I think 1 year before or 2 years before, I had to attend for an interview, and I was literally not prepared with anything. To be honest, I was literally not prepared with anything. I sat in that interview hall, and then there were actually three panelists over there. Okay, three panelists who was judging and marking me. And in that interview, I know that I didn't prepare anything, but whenever they asked me any question, I answered it with very confident. Okay. I said in the way of story. I didn't show them in the face that I didn't know that particular answer. Even though I didn't know, I smiled and said that, sorry, sir, I'm not aware about it, but I will surely read upon it. But any general questions, I gave my own views. At least I did some kind of research before going there. Okay. I then, as soon as I came out of the interview, I was like, oh shit. Like after doing at least some, that was the time I started with my interview career and all. So something I did around like 10 to 20 interviews I did. Okay. Then also I was able to present. No, I did this much interview training. Why by myself I was not able to present very well. I felt that constant feeling again and again. I thought my mana full went. Okay. As soon as I came out of the hall, I was 100% sure I will not get selected, because people who entered into that hall, those almost that 15 people were all very smarter than me. and their way of answering also they'll be following, I thought. But when the result came, only three people got selected. I got selected in the round. I was really shocked. I was like, in my life, I'd never expect only. And that day took a before that after that interview, I felt that okay, today onwards I'll not start my interview career only. But then when result came, I came to know that okay, I used many hacks in the interview. It's because I trained only for this 20 people. I came to know that okay, these are the hacks, these are the thing. So even though you do not know any answer, tell in a such a way that an interview should feel that okay, you know something rather than nothing. And interviewer's mind, I'll tell you one thing. Okay, I'm sitting in this side. You have to even observe your mind from our perspective also. So that's the reason. Just imagine you go in front of the mirror and you ask questions. Just imagine. So that time you'll feel what is the vibes of an interviewer. What is the state of an interview. So our mind will always not be focused. To be honest, we are also humans. No, so much thoughts will also come to our mind. But there are certain ways how you can make your answers very unique and crisp. So this is the same point which I want to tell. I literally liked your answers, yeah. Punima, I literally liked your answers. Your answers are good. But try to make out of the box answers. Just imagine if I'm having five knowledgeable persons like you one, other person same knowledgeable, three persons, same five people same knowledgeable. Now if they're asking me who should I select, it'll be really tough because you five are really knowledgeable. But I will be selecting someone who makes their answers very unique. Now, your your Punima's answer is literally awesome. I literally love it. But when Purnima is telling something, I'll be like, okay, how is she connecting to me? Is she using some kind of stories? Or is she making me impressed with some kind of answers? Or is she giving her own solutions? Or if she is giving her own comments on any particular question, that will literally impress me. It could be any particular quote, or it could be any particular anecdote, or it could be any kind of thing when you're using, or it could be a particular incident which had happened. When you're relating to this, only then your answers will be really unique. You can sharp it. Or else it will be like a shoe which is not polished. Okay, you all have the same shoe, but in order to make that answer, make little unique. Okay, or else it'll be so boring. I'm not telling you your interview is boring. Your interview is literally awesome. I'm just telling you, try to add little more essence in your answers. That means that, for example, we five people are making same sambar, but in my sambar I added little more extra this one, extra curry or extra some essence. My sambar will stand out of the crowd. So your answers are really good. I didn't suggest this tip to anyone else till now in my previous feedback also, if you observe. But this is the thing I'm telling you because your answers are very good. I literally loved your answers. But the problem is that when you're telling it, somewhere down the line, I want you to make little more unique in that answer, little more crisp. Or not crisp, I mean like little more masala. You can tell some story, anecdotes, incidents which has happened to you, and bring some smile in your face. Right the point. Right. Smile. Why this much serious? See, when you're talking to when you're now you're smiling. Smile now. Yeah, now it's good. Now when you're smiling and speaking, I feel so happy. But when you're being so much serious, yes, all right, all right. This is the thing. This is the thing. Okay. You observe that will not be connecting a vibe. So smile and tell it whenever possible in your interview. Smile and tell because you're so talented, kid. Yeah, to be honest, I literally liked your interview. You answered everything. After looking at you, I'm like, okay, Pawan, I should also read a little more. But smile and tell your answers. That will make me a little more engaged by listening to you. Okay. Now, I asked you more than 30 plus questions. Okay, 30 to 35, 40 in that range questions I asked you all. Now, the next important thing is I want you to learn the all other things. For example, population of India. What is the GDP rate of India? Learn little statistics. Statistics, you're a little weak, I can see. Learn your statistics. Statistics means what? Not stats, not statistics, stats-based question. For example, population, stats, it's a question. GDP, question. What is the present budget contribution towards so and so place? That's a stats based question. How many people Agnipartha scheme has basically provided? 10 lakh people. So this numbers literally a week. Learn on that numbers. I will tell you, learn even that. Now, and along with that, I want you to learn about the art of, yeah. So smiling, I said you micro presentation, I already gave you feedback. Mike, I'll tell you your weakness. Okay. Now the problem is that I've seen always these two kinds of people a lot. Now I will tell you the first kind of people who come to my interview is that these are the people who literally don't learn any current affairs. To be honest, those people, if I ask current affairs, I'll be like, okay, why am I even asking? Second are the people, they can't speak on the general topics. But the people who come in that first category, who don't know current affairs, general topics, when it is asked, they will give masalas answers. But people who know this general answers, that's like basic gyan regarding every topic knowledge, they will not be good in current affairs. And you come under two and a half category. That means that you know current affairs very well, but speaking of general topics, very general topics, how to be successful in life, even a small kid also can tell, no, ma'am, like you don't need to greet over there, as I said. So if I was you, I would have been said that, in order to become successful in our life, it is very important for us to understand what is the purpose of life. because behind every birth there is a small purpose. And how do we try to experiment what is our purpose? It's only by getting a chance and pushing ourselves out of the comfort zone. Now, for example, in order for me to start my own business, it is very much important for me to build these small pillars in my life. So what are these small pillars? It's very simple as this: do some kind of internships, explore with people, interact with people, learn from the mistakes of other people's life. Only by these I'll be able to grow, develop, and mold myself. So you observed. Now I'm just going to conclude in this particular basis. If you observe, I'm just taking this U-turn in a different manner here in a such a way that here the my formula. I think you have watched my video of this PCVS formula, right? Pros, cons, views, solutions. Have you heard about this micro presentation tip? Yes, right? Just more nod your head. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So that technique doesn't work over here. For general topics, always this technique doesn't work. So you have to be a little more flexible enough. Try to use in that kind of topics which I want to tell you. Now, along with it, I said, the storytelling of this one. Please do work on that storytelling art. Smile, micro presentation. Yeah, micro presentation. Don't greet once again. This is the major thing. Now, along with it, I even checked in your background. Background was good, fine enough. But try to next time join for your real interview at laptop if possible. Even phone you can join, but try to join from laptop because your screen is being very short away. This is one thing. And dress code is also fine. It's a formal itself. Now, the important thing which I want to tell is that throughout that interview, maintain that smileness. If you are able to do that, it is better. And last suggestion for you is that maintain the eye contact. You're not looking at it, you're not looking at the interviewer. You're looking somewhere above. You're looking, so when you're thinking, that's the reason I caught you when when I asked you questions regarding general questions. I mean, like, tell me about the books, tell me about the movies. I knew that was your weakness. So I came to know you were looking up. That itself showed me a indication that you are not familiar with such kind of topics. So you cannot always prepare for weapons and go for a war. Even certain kind of scenario you have to fight without weapons also. Like, your weapons are strong because you have all current affairs and all. You can keep on, when I'm throwing one weapon, you can hit me back with 100 weapons. But when I'm asking these kind of questions, there you're struggling. So learn about the books, learn about the movies, write it down, because these are the questions that they asked recently. Okay, learn about the books, learn about the movies, what you're learning. And it could be any particular incident. Narrate me an incident. If I'm asking you, tell me an incident where you have failed. Incident, don't just give general thing that okay, this has happened. Just tell that. So I think when I had faced an issue when, yeah, ma'am. So I had faced an issue when I was basically interacting with people around when I went to so and so place, and there I learned that my views is not considered. People didn't consider me as important, or at that point of time, I was not able to speak much because I felt that people around me were much knowledgeable than me, so that I felt some kind of demotivated. But however, I'm trying to overcome that particular socializing skills developing by interacting with people or making new friends. You saw my answer. I'm just telling you, do you get engaged in this answer? You're getting connected, right? Why? Because I'm using the elements of I and you. I, you. Sometimes I'm calling your name. Why? Because to bring your attention. So that's the reason sometimes in the interview you can tell that, sir, I feel that this is the thing, sir. Sir, I think that this is the thing where we need to do, sir. So I think this was the problem, sir, where I need to do. So use a word called as sir, I, or you, or as general concept, we. Try to use these words. You can connect to human beings very quickly. So these are the unique feedback which I wanted to give you. But apart from this, your interview was literally great. You did a very tremendous job. Good, great work. All that you need to do now is that just keep on working on yourself. That means that keep on practicing all the skills one by one. And I want you to update me on a very regular basis. Only then I'll be getting a clarity that you are progressing. Okay, so keep these things in your mind. This is an important feedback which I would like to give for today. But if you are able to keep this one perception regardless of whichever interview you're preparing as a student, whoever, like, as you're watching this again and again, this will keep on running in your mind. Any interview throughout the world, you're going to apply for UN, this one also, or if you're going for any kind of college interview also, job interview, or tomorrow placements also, the same tips will literally help you throughout your lifelong. Okay, these are not general tips because these are very important tips, and these tips learning is very important because you will not be updating yourself if you don't understand this mistake. I want you to reflect on your mistake, keep on developing, take time, take pace, keep growing, spark your, like always shine yourself. That means that if this is an axe, keep on sharpening it, because you are excellent. As an axe means you're really excellent with knowledge, everything, but I want you to keep on sharpening that axe, or else the axe will become into rusted form. So take time, take pace, ask for people's suggestion, do more mock interviews, take a mock interview with your own sister, with your own cousin, or with anyone, and keep on growing. All right, take mock interview. That's what I was just telling. I think you got stuck, but yes, take time, take mock interview, learn from it. Only then you'll be able to sharp your axe. So that's all which I want to tell. So then, wish you all the best, yeah. Thank you.